Hi everybody, it's Lauren Brown, also known as Raggedyroyal on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and now YouTube. And today we're going to be doing this full drugstore look, and it costs less than $150. This is how much it costs. Very excited about that. I asked on my Instagram what type of videos y'all want to see. A lot of the videos are videos that I have already posted. So subscribe, take a second, check through the playlist. I organized them recently for y'all, but one that was not already done is drugstore makeup. Y'all want to see more drugstore looks? I'm here to do that for you, so keep on watching. All right, y'all, so my goal is to make this look as cheap as possible, but also a great look, of course. So I'm going to skip primer. I just use some moisturizer, which is also drugstore. This is Pond's Dry Skin Cream. Just put a little moisturizer on. Not even gonna go into the primer. I usually say that it's like not super necessary to use a primer, especially if you moisturize first. So I think we're gonna be all right. Okay, first things first, we're going to do our brows. I'm gonna be putting the pricing at the bottom. My goal is for this to be under $150. So we'll see if I make it. Okay, so I'm gonna be going in with the NYX brow glue, and I'm just going to brush the hairs up, and then I'm going to be using the NYX Professional Makeup Brow Tint Pen in Espresso. I go between Espresso, Taupe, and Ash Brown. I use all of them, but today we're going to be using Espresso. Now, here's the thing. Drugstore makeup is not necessarily hard. It's not hard for me to do a whole look of drugstore. In fact, I have multiple up on my Instagram right now and on my TikTok, and probably on Shorts by the time this is posted. That's not the hard part. The hard part is I didn't realize how expensive drugstore makeup is now. And so I'm just going to go in with the brow glue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just flick the hairs all the way up and then taper it off like this. I don't want my brows to be too wild and out of control. I don't think that's really going to go with this look. Do it on the other side. Okay, now here's the thing about this brow gel. It is wet and sticky, so I'm going to let it dry for a second before I go in my brow tint pen. Okay, so my camera cut out because I ain't got no storage. Y'all pray for me. Anyways, I did my brows off camera. Well, not by choice. But anyways, all I did was spike the brow hairs up with the NYX brow glue and then fill in the bottom, because you can see my brow hairs are darker on the top than the bottom, with the NYX Lift and Snatch brow tint pen in Espresso. So I did that. And now I'm going to take the e.l.f. Liquid Glow Filter. I love this. I love this product right here. And you know, when I first got it, I didn't know what it is. Because here's the thing with makeup names. Sometimes I'm just like, I know you had to put a whole bunch of names in there. I know you had to put a lot of descriptors. But can you at least put what it's supposed to be in the name? You know what I mean? Because it's just like Halo Glow Liquid Filter. And I'm like, is that a foundation? Is that a concealer? I don't know how to use it. Because it looks like it could be a foundation because it's so much. But then it has like an applicator like a concealer. But it's neither. It's literally a liquid like filter. I put it underneath my foundation for a little bit of glow. I don't know what it is. Everything don't have to be explained, I guess. And I'm gonna take a Real Techniques brush. Look, I'm not counting how expensive the brushes are in the makeup. Okay, I'm not counting that. One day I do want to go to Ulta and try to do like a $100 challenge, but that's not today. Okay, that's not today. Like brushes included, $100 makeup challenge. But this one is not that one. If you want to see that one, let me know down below. I feel like that'd be a really fun, but stressful, but fun challenge. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spread that all under my foundation. See, we really don't need the primer because we have the moisturizer and this liquid glow. I think we're going to be absolutely A-okay. Now I'm going to be taking the e.l.f. Flawless Satin. I got to make sure I got some storage and the camera's still on. You hear me? Hey. You real? Anyways, I'm going to be taking the e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation, and this is in shade 340 Almond. I'm going to put it on the back of my hand as always. If you haven't checked out my foundation base routine, go check that out. Because I had asked on Instagram, like, what type of videos do people want to see? And they were all mentioning things that were in that video. So, maybe you haven't seen it. Go check that video out. And in that video, I explain why I put things on the back of my hand. Because I don't want to put it directly into the brush because I don't clean my brushes frequently enough, and I don't need to make a breeding ground for bacteria more than I already have, okay? Because right now, these brushes, woo! Anyways, and I'm going to blend that in. And I know what you're thinking. Lauren, you always preach about doing your eyes before face. I do, and I'm glad that somebody hears me. However, this eye makeup look is not going to have a lot of fallout, and it is pretty simple. So I think that we will not be in the danger zone. We will not risk our face makeup by using the eyeshadow that we're going to use today. But I'm glad that you are not just following what I do, but also thinking about what I say. Mind you, I film these videos in a room talking to a camera by myself, so nobody said that. But I would hope that my preachings about doing your eyes before your face, you know, have some impression. But like I said, this is going to be a simple eye, so it's not going to be a problem. It's not going to be a mess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this flat brush, and this is a Morphe for, you know what, not drugstore. Doesn't matter. I'm going to just take a little bit of that foundation from the back of my hand, and I'm going to go over my brows just to taper them. I feel like it gives it a cleaner look. I used to be a real feather brow, fluffy brow girl. I am not that anymore. I like it to look a little bit more controlled. That's just not my style anymore. And I feel like it doesn't really match my looks. Because I feel like they're more orderly these days. And then I just have like wild brows that kind of distract. Not my vibe anymore. So I clean them up a little bit on top, just to give them the look that I go for nowadays. Now I'm going to be taking the e.l.f. Hydro Camo Concealer, and this is in shade Light Beige. And we are going to go right under the eye. And guess what, guys? Guess what? We're only doing one concealer today, okay? We're only doing one. One, because like I said, I'm trying to keep this as affordable as possible. You don't need 2 concealers. I like 2 concealers. You don't need 2 concealers. I'm going to take this Real Techniques brush and just blend that right on out. We're about to go in with this blush. It's not even gonna matter. Not even gonna matter. But I'm keeping that light shade because highlights and light shades bring attention to the center of the face, which is where I'm applying it right here. So if I was going to pick which concealer, if I want to do the concealer that's closer to my skin tone or the light concealer, I do the light concealer because that's doing the biggest job on the face. It's creating the contrast. So now I'm going to be taking the Milani Cheek Kiss blush, and this is in You're a Peach. I love peachy coral blushes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this stippling brush from Beige Cosmetics, and I'm going to go in. It is a cream blush. Whoa. Okay. It is a cream. Okay, we're going to just put some up here and put some up here and then just blend. It is a very pigmented blush, and it is a cream blush. So I'm going to be using a stippling brush that could also be used for foundation, simply because I feel like it would apply the product better than a brush that, for say, looks like this and has this texture. I thought these are better for powder blushes. This one we're going to use here. And I'm going to take that all the way up. I'm probably going to have to blend this out with concealer and foundation. Because whoa. And now I'm going to be going in with the LA Colors Ultimate Cover Concealer. I think everything I've used so far you can find in Ulta. You cannot find this in Ulta. It is $5. I want to say it's on the Walmart website, and it's definitely the LA Colors website. I could have sworn like I saw these in person somewhere. I guess not. I guess not. So this is probably the only product that's like harder to find. And the reason why we are using this is because it's the perfect shade. I love the LA Colors Ultimate Cover Concealer. If you watch any of my tutorials, I probably used it. I use it for my colored brows. I use it for my concealer on my face. Sometimes I even use it as eye primer. So this is going to be the hardest to find product. But I was going to say sorry, but I'm not sorry because I feel like y'all should really invest in these LA Color Cover Concealers. They are really, really good and they're $5. But let me just shout out some of my other favorite concealers while we're here from the drugstore. I love the REVLON COLORSTAY Skin Awaken. I use these in another one of my drugstore videos on Instagram. So I have all my product, like the long description bar with all the products that I use. I have pictures, I have reels, all those on Instagram. I love these. I also love the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear. Okay, so now I'm going to just take this angle brush and blend it in. I have not forgotten about the brush video, y'all. I know that's something that y'all, first of all, I love when everybody leaves suggestions on what type of videos they want to see. That helps me out a lot. I say that in the outro, but you know, sometimes people say this stuff in the outro and they don't really mean it. I mean it. It really does help a lot. But so many of my brushes, my favorite brushes, are discontinued. Like this one here. So I need to do a little bit more research because I just feel like suggesting, like, I was just having to put a whole disclaimer on suggesting this, and they still sell this, just not in the drugstore. So imagine me trying to sell a product, or try to not even sell, but suggest you a product that is discontinued. What help is that? What help is that going to be, other than saying like get a brush like this? If all my brushes, that my favorite brushes that I'm trying to tell you about in my brush video, are discontinued, that's not helping you or me. So give me a little. Oh, LOL. I guess I didn't do that side. Give me a little time to do a little bit more research and find brushes that I can stand beside. Because yeah, when I found out this was discontinued, I was like, whoa, how many are discontinued? A lot. But yeah, they're discontinued all the faves. And I'm like, you guys need me in that room. You guys need me in that room because we need these. And y'all are giving them away. As I fix my face, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I feel about drugstore makeup versus luxury makeup versus... Look, here's my thing. Some people say, like, do you like luxury makeup or drugstore makeup more? Here's the thing. Both and neither, because it depends on what the category is. Like, for example, I prefer high-end foundations, and when I say prefer, I just mean like my favorite foundations are high-end, but I prefer drugstore lip products. Like, if you said, hey, would you rather go to the high-end side or the not low-end, the high-end side, or the cost-conscious I have a business degree. That's just like business terms for cheaper, more affordable, less expensive side of Ulta for lip products. I'm going to go over to the drugstore side. Lips, I'm heading straight to NYX. If you ask me if I want to get eyeliner, would I rather get high-end or drugstore? I'm definitely going drugstore. Y'all know my favorite eyeliner of all time. Where is she? Where is she? Y'all know my favorite eyeliner of all time is the e.l.f. Expert Liquid Eyeliner. I use it all the time. It's less than $5. There it is. I have one on my desk right now. I usually have 5, 6, 7 all over the place. I made like a 30-minute video. I don't know if it's 30 or 40. It was a long video. Eyeliner 101. Last year, actually. It's the 1-year anniversary. With just this eyeliner alone, because I love it so much. It's my favorite eyeliner. If you told me to pick luxury or drugstore, I'm picking drugstore eyeliner. But if you told me foundations, I'll end up on the other side. Or you said... concealer. Well, concealers is marginal. It's marginal. So it really just depends. But I also use a lot of alternative makeup. Like, and when I say alternative, I mean independent brands that are not in Ulta, Sephora, and things like that. Like Colored Rain. I use a lot of cosmetics that you can only buy on their website for now. You know, if they want to expand, I'll pray that for them. But you can only buy it on their website. You see what I'm saying? So I want to say I use like 40% high end, 40% drugstore, and 20% independent. But if the product is good, the product is good. I don't really care if it's drugstore. I don't think that the money I don't think the money goes with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it matters. I think if it's a good product, it's a good product. If it's $4 or $40. But yeah, some things, like I like high-end setting powder. But I feel like if you have the right techniques, you can kind of make almost anything work. So it doesn't really matter. But I had a feeling I would maybe get a comment about that, because we had a whole discussion about it on Instagram one time, talking about high-end versus drugstore. It really just depends on the product, because my favorite lip gloss of all time is like 99 cents at beauty supply store, which is the Broadway gloss, the squeeze tube. Best clear gloss ever. I feel like when high-end brands try to do clear gloss, they mess it up. They overcomplicate it. It's always a mess. Go get your 99-cent clear gloss. But some things I prefer from different brands, from different price points. Just like anything, shoes, you know, you you have some shoes that cost $5, some shoes that cost $500, and then you like some of the $500 shoes but not the other ones. You like some of the $5 shoes and not the other ones. Preferences. I am going to go in with this Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage. Now here's the thing. I usually do use a loose powder, right? But I can't use a loose powder because my drugstore loose powder is from Beauty Bakery, which you would know if you watch my Black Owned Beauty brand videos. They're really good. Check them out. But it's too expensive. It's gonna break our budget. So I'm going in with something vintage because I think I got this when I was like a freshman in college. It was about March when I applied for Sephora Squad the first time, 2019. I just applied again, so if you want to help me out, leave your testimonial. It's in the description box. Thank you so much. But I remember it was March. I was in college 4 years ago, and I got these. And I got all the colors. And I was like, I don't even know how to really use this powder foundation, right? So I really don't need too much on my brush. I'm just going to use a little bit to mattify the under eye. It's a little bit more powerful than a pressed powder. Than a loose powder, than a loose translucent powder. Because it has a shade, first of all. So this is shade 220 Natural Beige. Before I started making YouTube videos consistently, I didn't realize how much beige, how much my products are named beige, but I'm rocking with it. This is Natural Beige, and it, first of all, it has a color compared to translucent. Also, it's packed. It's densely packed. So if you have this translucent powder, you know, it spreads out. You put it on your face, you wipe it away. But this right here, it's serious. Okay? So I'm going to add a little bit. I love the shade. I'm not going to do too much out here. I'm just going to kind of keep it at the highlight. So into the T-zone. And you see how powerful it is? It basically just wiped away all the blush on our forehead. So I'm going to go back in with blush. But yeah, this is not a pressed powder. It's a pressed powder foundation. So it's not play. I want to say, I've never done it. I want to say people use just pressed powder foundations like just on their face instead of other foundations. So yeah. I feel like it's a very powerful tool to look into, especially for the price that it is. If you want to keep it like real no fuss makeup, I feel like you should look into pressed powder foundation. Okay. Too much on the forehead. Flag on the play on the forehead. There we go. Now I'm just going to take some of that concealer from before, which is the LA.COLORS Ultimate Cover Concealer in Cafe. I don't know if I said the shade before, but this is shade Cafe. And I'm just going to put it on the back of my hand, like I always do. Disperse a little bit and go in and contour this nose. But while I do that, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite drugstore brands. So some of my favorite drugstore brands are NYX. As you can probably see by how much I'm using, Milani. I've always loved Milani. I've loved Milani from the what is it? The cheek blush in Luminoso days. That's a throwback. And e.l.f., of course. I'm very fortunate to have worked with like some of my favorite brands, especially in the drugstore, because working with brands is always so special. But I started being an influencer in high school, right? I started doing makeup way before that. My mom got me her first makeup kit at 3. There's a whole story there. But I started influencing and really buying my own makeup when I was in the middle school, high school. So, of course, I'm not buying all these luxury brands. I'm going to the drugstore. And I used to go to a high school that's literally right in walking distance to a CVS. I used to be in that CVS. I used to ride the train home to a place that was near a CVS too. So I used to always be in CVS. My preference may be Walgreens simply because of the lighting. But I will run through a CVS, right? And I was always at CVS. So I'm like, yeah, the makeup that was in those stores was my makeup. Like, I used to love the Rimmel London. It was one specific product. It was a concealer and had a purple packaging. I want to say it was Stay something. Loved that concealer. And I used to love Wet n Wild. Oh my goodness. I had all the Wet n Wild because they were like $1.99. The lipsticks, and they were so good. I used to wear the shade Mochalicious like every single day. I'll put it on the side. These are things I used to live for. So when I got to work with brands like Milani, who I've been using their Luminoso blush from when everybody used to do the Target hauls, y'all knew that. Okay, here's the thing. I decided I wanted to be an influencer at the age of when the beauty influencer was like humongous and into hauls. Everybody was hauling everything. Drugstore hauls. I had all the baby lips. I hated every single baby lips. I did not like baby lips. Baby lips was not a good product to me, but I had all of them because we were in the haul era. And I was just like, wow, drugstore makeup. This is amazing. I'm always at the drugstore. It's affordable. This is great. And I'm going to buy all the shades because that's what everybody was doing. I have all the shades of Wet n Wild. Lip glosses, lipsticks. I think I have a bag around here that still has these products in it. If I can find it, I will put a clip of me. Here it is. I see it. Hold on. You stay right there. Don't touch nothing. Here's my bag of OG makeup that I just keep. These are the Maybelline lipsticks, and this one is called Nude Embrace. This one is called Nude Embrace, and you can see I used it down to its very last, like very last. And I used to always wear Touch of Spice, which I would never wear a shade like this now because I just don't think it's flattering. But for years, I thought that this was my shade. This is my shade. Oh my goodness, it's crazy because I did not blend my nose contour out. I'm talking with it like this, so just don't look at the nose contour. Just look at the nostalgia. Here it is. Here is one of the wet and slow down. I'm so excited. Here's one of the Wet n Wild Stoplight Red. And I would mix it with other shades. And I want to say I used this Wet n Wild lipstick during cheer season. So I was a cheerleader for a long time. If you watch my TikTok, you've seen the lore there. But I was a cheerleader for a long time, and I even cheer All-Star. So I had to have red lipstick, of course. But yeah, here's these God Forbidden baby lips. Like I said, I had every single flavor, and I hated all of them. I hated all of them. Oh my goodness, the power of influencers. Oh man. And see, at the time, like I said, I was younger, so like these high-end makeup products were rare. That's why I kept them. Like I keep them. This is the Stila CC cream. This is the first CC cream ever like foundation-ish product I ever used. If you don't know what a CC cream is, it's a color correcting cream. It's a little bit less heavy than a foundation. And I got my makeup done when I was at Sephora when I was younger, and they put this on me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get it. And it's like the closest thing I had to a foundation. Oh my goodness. The Naked Basics palette, like, because I was a drugstore girly, so I would keep all the things that weren't drugstore because I'm like, whoa, this is different. Wow. I used to use all the NYX liquid liners, all the colors, even the extreme bright ones. See, this is all dried out and I still have it. The bright ones, y'all know the bright ones that be crackling? I still love those, though. I still use them, but sometimes they do be crackling. They used to crackle so bad back in the day. And I used to love those eyeliners. Wow. Yeah. Whew. Trip down memory lane. I guess this is kind of like the closest thing I have to getting ready with me. Because usually I just come on here. Well, actually, I do a lot of talking. But usually I just hit the techniques and move on. But I feel like this one, you're learning a little bit about me. But yeah, now that I've worked with those brands, like I worked with Milani in 2021. And I did a takeover on their Instagram for Black History Month. That was really fun. I worked with e.l.f. in 2021. And I've still yet to work with Wet n Wild. But I've also worked with NYX Cosmetics in 2021. So like those are a little bit, not that every brand I do is special, but those are like, wow. It's like, wow. Because yeah, I used to use you when I was like 14. And that's crazy. That's crazy. Anyways. Yeah, I remember Maybelline sent me my first PR package. And the PR package had this foundation in there. That's what we were actually talking about. And it even comes with a puff. That's what just fell down. I don't use puffs. I don't know. I just have a lot of brushes. So I don't use puffs. I think we're looking pretty good. I don't know what we're going to do for the nose highlight. I'll figure it out though. Let's move on to the eyes. Before the eyes, I'm going to take, just to make it fair, I am a stickler for experiments and rules and things like this, making things exact and fair. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use that light beige e.l.f. concealer from before. By the way, this is the satin finish. They have a bunch of different concealers and different finishes. This is the satin finish. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that flat brush and I'm going to prime the eyes. Y'all know I love a white primer. However, this eyeshadow is not very bright where it needs a super white primer. Like, it's not going to make a huge difference. Spoiler alert, it's going to be a one eyeshadow look. It's going to be a one eyeshadow look. I love it. I love those. And I feel like other people love those too. And I always get so shocked because I'm like, whoa, we just want eyeshadow. It's not the most intricate look. Like, wow, when you pick a certain color, yeah, it's powerful. And I'm just going to pat that with a concealer brush. Nothing too, ooh, that's okay, I'll fix the brow later. Nothing too intricate here. I just want to make sure that the brow is covered and that it is flat so that creasing is not super bad and does not make the eyeshadow patchy because there is more concealer in the one section, you know. Just fell on my desk. This is the Riot Extreme eyeshadow palette. In my Q&A, my last Raggedyroyal report, which you should watch. It's pretty good. It got pretty. You should watch it. But that's what my first PR thing was. This is it. It's not a drugstore. It's from an independent company. But here's the palette. Whoa. It's like artifacts. So where we're going to be going into is the NYX Ultimate Edit. I love this eyeshadow palette. I love this palette. I love this palette for years. I actually used to use this palette when it was this palette. So this is the Ultimate Edit. So this is a smaller palette compared to the Ultimate, and it has a few less shades. But I think this is my second one. I had this palette and I used to always use this shade right here to make the eye that we're going to be making today. And we're going to be using the Ultimate Edit because we are being conservative and we don't need all the shades in here. So this basically has some shimmer shades in here. This doesn't. This is all matte. And the NYX Ultimate Edit comes in many different colorways. I just love this one because it's rainbow. Y'all know how I feel about rainbow stuff. But it comes in many different colorways. And I like these little 6-pan palettes. NYX is not the only company that I have of these. I have the Milani Gilded Minis as well. I think that when you travel, I hate traveling with makeup. I usually just leave it at home. But I think if you travel, these are really, really handy. Also, if you're just getting into makeup and you're like, look, I just want to do one look, one colorway before I start buying stuff. These are pretty cool. They usually have a light shade, some shimmers, a transition, and a crease shade. So you really have everything that you need in one palette. Same here. You gotta get a little creative because, like, it's not all shades of one shade. So it's not like all shades of brown. It's all different shades. So you gotta really, you know, get a little creative. But you still have transition shades, crease shades, all the sorts. So where we're gonna go into is this shade here. This is shade 6. It doesn't have a name. LOL. Let's see if it has a name on this one. No. I'm going to be taking a blending brush in 443. I'm going to be covering the brush for real. Because I want a bright payout. So what I'm going to... Okay. Eyes creased. LOL. So what I'm going to do is I am going to blend that all across the crease. Now, if you want a better payoff, sometimes I just do this. I just scratch a little bit. Because I want this to be super vibrant, super yellow. There we go. I'm going to blend that all the way up to the brow bone. Is one eyeshadow. I have an in-depth tutorial on how to do one eyeshadow looks. I had this whole era over last summer where I did one eyeshadow looks every day in all the colors. So I'll put that in the cards. Whenever I talk about a video in a video, I always put in the cards. So if you ever saw like a title flash across the top of your screen, you're like, what is that? That's called cards. And if you tap it, it will take you to another video or whatever I was talking about. Just a little YouTube hack. Now I'm just going to keep blending this. I clean my brow a little bit. Might have to do more off camera. Going to the other eye. So, seriously, pray for my storage. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I was going on and the camera was not even on. Not even on. But what I'm going to do is now cover up the lid with this eyeshadow. I have not even switched brushes or eyeshadows. One brush, one eyeshadow. Cover up the lid. This would be a great time to add gloss. And you know, I'm tempted to do, this would be a great time to add gloss, and I'm tempted to do so. I'm not going to, but if you want to know how to do a glossy eye, this will be a time to add gloss, and this will also be a time to click in the cards and go watch my glossy eye tutorial that I posted last month. Here we are, cover up the lid, cover up the lid. Now, I need to figure out what I'm going to do for this inner corner highlight. I also need to finish the face, but before we do that, what we're going to do is go into my tried and true. See, this is what I mean by I use drugstore products every single day. It's a mix, but drugstore products are I never stopped using them. Never stopped prioritizing them in my routine. Like this baby right here, NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil. Every time I ask, every year, what's the product that you guys like, you know, got from me or you use because of me? NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil is always in the comments. Always in the comments. Y'all always put it. It's my tried or true right here. I think I have a waterline video coming out next Saturday. I post every Saturday, so if you are new here and you just want to stick around, subscribe. But I post every Saturday, so I think we'll have a waterline video out next Saturday, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to take it on a craft brush. I'm going to go into the waterline. My lash line looks so dark because I had on makeup earlier today. Now I'm going to go underneath the lash line and blend the yellow in. And y'all already know. Y'all already know. Taking a blush brush, I'm going to go into the yellow and a little bit of that coral shade. I'm going to flip the brush around so that I can get on both sides. If I just keep it like this and half the brush is going to be yellow, half the brush is going to be coral, I want it to be a blend. So I'm going to spin it around. And we're gonna blend this out all the way into the cheeks. If it's a color that I can blow out to the cheek, it don't have to be a color I can blow out to the cheek. If I do blue eyeshadow, I'm gonna blend it with some green, then some yellow, then some orange. We're gonna get to orange. Yeah. I talked about color theory in my cheater print eyeshadow video, which was not last weekend, but the weekend before that. And I put the color wheel up, and that tickles me. Because I feel like I'm a maniac if you don't see the picture. I'm like blue, then green, then yellow. But yeah. If I have blue eyeshadow, I'm going to blend out to green, then blend out to yellow, then blend out to orange. I'm blending it out to the blush. No matter how many transition colors I'm going to need. Today, we don't need any because I'm going to be using that yellow and that orange that's in that same palette. And I'm also going to put some on the nose. Now, here's the only thing. This eyeshadow palette doesn't have a transition shade. It doesn't have a transition shade. I know some people use NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil as like a nose highlight and all the. I don't know her like that. Okay, I don't know her in that capacity. I know her at school. I don't know her at home. You know, I don't know her at church. I don't know her at work. Keeping those boundaries separate. I'm not going to do that for my nose highlight. So we're going to need a nose highlight shade. So I'm going to go into this Wet n Wild Color Icon palette. I'm going to go into this shade right here, which is a light champagne eyeshadow. And I'm going to highlight. Oh, okay. Too much. Tapping it off. I'm going to highlight the nose. And now that I have highlighted underneath my eye with a little bit of this gold and highlighted my inner corner with the champagne from the Wet n Wild Color Icon. This is 10 shades. See, I like these little palettes. This is 10 shades. Now we are going to move on to lips and lashes. For the mascara, we're going to be using the Maybelline Colossal Curl Bounce. I like this mascara. I like this applicator. And we're going to go right into the lashes. And then I am going to probably apply my lashes off camera because they've been giving me hell today. But if you want to know how I apply my lashes, I'm going to apply the exact same lashes that I applied in my how to apply lashes video last week. It's a really short video. Check that video out. I'm going to be using the Kiss Cosmetics Lash Drip Lashes in You Do You. DEW. I already sprayed setting spray, so I used the NYX matte finish setting spray. And honestly, I don't think that this setting spray gives me the matte, dry, Sahara Desert, like, dry face look as much as it gives me my skin, but better. I like this. I like this. It's not too matte. It says matte. It's not too matte. Alrighty, now we're going to go into, before I do my lashes, I'm going to my lips. For lips, I'm going to be going in with the NYX Epic Smoke Liner in Mocha Match. But I don't know what this product was marketed for. Eyes, face, I always use it for the lips. I actually used the green one for the waterline the other day. It's a multifaceted product. I love Mocha Match for the lipstick. And I'm going to also be going in with the NYX Butter Gloss in Madeline, another holy grail from the YouTube beauty haul era days. The NYX Butter Gloss in Madeline. And I'm not going to use a lipstick in between because, first of all, I'm very cost conscious. But second of all, I'm really trying to get under $150. And I think we can do it. Also, you don't need it. I just don't need it. So yeah, let me find my Mocha Match that has a little bit more product in it. See? I be using these. If I recommend them, I be using them down. Do you hear me? Let me find it. Alrighty, so I'm going to take Mocha Match and line the lips. Oh, hold on. I need to highlight the Cupid's bow. Wait a second. Take my eyeshadow back out. Yes. Alright. The only thing about this foundation powder is I feel like it's not as suitable for my laugh lines, but we'll pat it out. And all I had on was some lip balm beforehand. So my lips are nice and moisturized. I'm going to be adding the butter gloss. If you see me keep looking at the camera and panic, that is because my camera keeps turning off because I have no storage. Because I have, how many pictures on my phone now? 185,926 pictures. And I need to clear them out before tomorrow because I'm running the Rock and Roll Marathon DC. And if I have some space, I'll vlog it for y'all. At the same time as y'all are watching this video, I'll probably be running my race. So pray for me. I need it. I'm going to add lashes and come right back. Oh, lied. I'm going to take my brow pen from before and make some beauty marks. Like I was saying, I ask every single year, like, hey guys, what's something that I've inspired you to try? Or a product that I inspired you to buy, you know? Because, I mean, I feel like it's kind of obvious why I asked that question. Because I'm curious and I want to know. And I'm always surprised. This year, I think it was 2 different people who said the beauty marks. And I'm like, are you being for real? That's so crazy. And it's crazy because I actually got it from Maxie, my best friend, who I've had on my channel before. Maxie the one who started doing that. And I was like, oh, kind of like it. And I took that from her. Just like she used to come to my house and do my fake eyelashes and put them on for me because I can never put them on. And learn from her, and I did an eyelash video. So shout out Maxie. I told her that I posted the eyelash video. She was like, I'm subscribed, so she probably sees this. All right, I'm going to go put on my lashes. These are the lashes that we're applying today. The Lash Drip Lashes in You Do You. They are $4.99. And I think they're only selling them on the website right now. I went to 4 different stores looking for these lashes for my lash video. Luckily, I had some in storage. And I almost fell onto my knees. I went down to 2 different Targets, multiple CVS's. I went everywhere looking for these, and they did not have them. But apparently, they are still on their website. So, shout out Kiss. Favorite lash style. I'm going to apply them really quickly. If you want to know how to apply lashes, no worries. Just post a video on it. So check that video out. I'm going to put my lashes on. I'm going to come right back. And I will show you the final look. And we will also know the total. Alrighty, so here is the final look. Here is the final price. Woo, 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 woo. Under $150. Under $150. Woo, 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 woo. Anyways, let me know down in the comments if you want to see more drugstore makeup. It doesn't necessarily have to be $150 like I just did. And it doesn't have to be these same combinations. I can make drugstore combinations for days. Let me know what you want to see from the drugstore. If you have a certain type of look you want to see, or a certain color, or anything. Brand, let me know what you want to see. I know that these drugstore more affordable videos are really great for beginners and are really great for people who maybe don't have a huge makeup budget, or they don't want to have a huge makeup budget because they're like, this is not the main priority in my life. I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money on it. I see you. Let me know down below if you want to see more drugstore makeup videos like this. Also, check out my Instagram. There are some other looks, other drugstore looks, reels, pictures. We do a whole bunch of things over there. Democracy. We have a whole bunch of debates, stories, blah, 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 blah. Go check that out. Also, check out my shorts because there's a lot of the same videos in there. Check me out on TikTok. I do a bucket list series where I try all different foods, cuisines, activities, and the sorts. And my Twitter. Check me out on Twitter because we have a lot of fun on there as well. All my socials are at Raggedyroyal. Check out my last couple videos: how to apply fake lashes, glossy eye, halo eye, cheetah print, cut crease, black owned, and a soft glam, all black owned products. Let me know. Also, question: do you think that ColourPop is drugstore or high end, or is it in that niche alternative independent? Because it's like, I feel like it's less expensive than Morphe, but then again, where does Morphe fit? High end, drugstore. Let me know down below. I really need the answer to that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Give this video a like and subscribe to see more videos like this. We're almost at 38,000, which is almost at 40,000 subscribers, which is almost 50,000 subscribers, which is almost 100,000 subscribers, which is almost 1 million. So thank you guys for 1 million. Also, fill out my Sephora Squad testimonial if you have a second. Thank you, please. Thank you so much. I think we have 78 so far, and that is amazing. If you want to help me become part of the 2023 Sephora Squad, the testimonial link will be down below. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, let me know if you have any of these products as well. What was your first drugstore product? Was it one that I used today? Because there's a high chance that it was. Because this NYX Ultimate has been around a long time. The Butter Gloss, these are classics. Let me know if you have any of the same vintage retro products I have. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.